All right, good afternoon, class. This is for the COM 101, Intro to Media Production, and you all are going to work on your first assignments. And first, I'd like to say that I appreciate the patience you guys have and the work that May, along with some of the other students, are going to do to help us to make sure that you start your course right and finish the course right. I'm going to be gone for 2.5 weeks, and we had a little technical difficulty with the laptop today, but it doesn't matter. All you need is my words, and follow my words, take good notes, and you'll be able to do your first assignment. And when I met you guys on for the first time on Monday, I mentioned that in attendance was very important, which means that I hope that today everybody was on time. I've asked May to make sure that when people do sign in, that they put the time that they came into class. And I want you guys to take that very seriously, because I may not be there physically, but I am there, and that's how I want you to treat the class. All right, it's very important for me that you all do that. We're gonna go over the landscape. We're going to go over some tools in After Effects, and then I'm going to tell you, instead of demonstrate, how you're going to create your solar system. And again, the assignment is that your groups are going to break up into 2 or 3s, and each of you are going to be responsible for animating and giving us information. So this isn't just for the animation. You have to find out real information about the planets that are dedicated for you. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. It's hot. Just pan around a little bit so they can see where we're at. We're in Ghana. We're on our way to Benin after we do some work in Ghana, doing the Wheelock work of inspiring a world of good. And so turn around so they can see my lovely assistant, Rose.
My
Hurry
sweaty
up.
assistant.
So you guys will always know where you can find help when we get back. All right? Thank you. All right. So first, let's talk. Let me back up a little bit. So each member is going to be responsible for first getting information on the planets that they are responsible for, and then you're going to animate your planets with rotation. You're going to story tell. All right. So once you've finished animating these, then you're going to bring your animations into Adobe Premiere, where you're going to voice over and give us more information about the solar system. So you're going to make about a 30-second to 1-minute video. Sometimes people want to expand it and go a little bit further, which is fine. I want you to give facts. All right. And so, for instance, if you are doing Saturn, you can talk about what the rings really are. You can animate those. Right? And so I want real information. This is not an experiment, because we're going to collaborate with the science people, so that we can collaborate and make some animations like this, so we can teach about universe, environmental issues, and so on. So you guys are actually helping to start something that is real critical, and so this assignment is very important to me. All right, so let's begin. And it's a rough sketch, but Rose, if you can see, After Effects panel looks somewhat like this. All right. So take a real good look. I'll give you about 15 seconds if you want to just draw out the. Oh, sorry. Draw out the makeup of the software, and then I'll tell you what the different panels are for. Okay. So After Effects, you have what's called the effects control, upper left. This is where you're going to make the changes. The effects control. Anytime you can't find a window, you can go up top to window, which will be right up here. When you click on it, you'll see all the different panels that you need, and you would see effects control. You click that and then it would come on. So it's like the guts of each clip. The effects control is where you're going to make the animations happen. It's where you're going to adjust things to create your art. All right. Then you're going to have your project panel. And again, if you don't see it, because sometimes someone has been using it and they can change the makeup of what the setup of the software looks like, the stage. All right. And so anytime like that, you click up here, project panel, and then you could click it on. Your project panel, think of it as when you go to the supermarket, when trucks deliver, whether it's eggs, whether it's ham, whether it's cereal, no matter what it is, they first go into a storage bin before they get put out into the shelves. And so this is where they go to sit until you use them. The first thing you're going to create is a composition. Your composition is like your shelves. This is where you sell your goods. So the compositions are timelines.
It's all good.
You good?
It's all
Okay.
good, I promise.
Your compositions are timelines. You can have multiple compositions. And the reason for that is, let's say you're doing a news show or a news animation. You can have one competition where you have the animation for sports. Another composition that has the animation for weather. So I think you get the point. So compositions are what you will drag your clips. If you see here, this would be an image map. So composition lives inside of the project panel. Your content, like image maps, because you're going to be using planet maps. Every single planet in our solar system has been mapped. That includes the sun. That includes every moon for every planet. So if you know the name of the planet, you go to Google Images and you type in Enceladus map, and you get the moon Enceladus. Your map should not be spherical or cylindrical. It should be rectangular. Your map should be rectangular, or else it will not wrap around the sphere right. All right, so always remember that. Then you have your stage. This is where it's kind of like your stage. This is where you see the final image. All right, so this is your layer viewer here. This is where you're going to see your final story. This is where you're going to build your story. These are layers, and you make adjustments to your layers here. What's going to be important this time, I don't want you to touch any tool that I didn't teach you yet. After Effects is a deep software, and if you go the wrong direction, I may not be able to come into the forest and help you out. I can't guide you out if I don't know how you got lost in there. I can't find you. And so don't touch anything that I didn't ask you to touch. What I do want you to focus on, up top, you will have, this is where you'll find your basic tools that you'll use. For what we want to do today, all I want you to learn is the selection tool. It's an arrow. You're going to use that like your hand. You're going to use the selection tool to move things around, to double click to select things and open them up. And you're also going to use that to make any adjustments inside the effects control. All right. Over here, you're going to find your effects. An effect is anytime you have a piece of media that exists and you change it somehow. That's an effect. The effect you're going to be using, there are two of them. First, you're going to make a planet. And the effect you're going to use for that is CC Sphere. CC Sphere. And where you're going to find, and you're in college, you better know how to spell sphere. And here you'll see effects and presets. You'll see it listed here. And you'll have a field that you can type into. So in here you'll type CC Sphere, and CC Sphere will pop up. And then you will apply that to your image map. That's going to make your planet. There are a lot of adjustments you can make within the CC Sphere. Right now, all I want you to do is to make your planet. You'll be able to change the lighting in it. You'll be able to change the shadow. You're going to be able to change how big the planet is. You're going to be able to rotate the planet on different axes. If I haven't asked you to do something, don't do it. The reason for that is that the class needs to be on the same page. We all need to be able to progress at the same time. So I want everybody at the same level. So if you go ahead, I will rather take points away from you, because that is not following directions. And the following the directions is as important as being talented and doing the work. 10 seconds?
You got 10 minutes.
I got 10 minutes?
You're on 10 minutes.
Oh, I'm on 10 minutes. Boy, I can run my mouth. Okay. Thank you. All right. So, in this panel here, you're going to see a cube on top of where you see your layers. So each layer has an opportunity for you to turn that cube on. When you turn that cube on, you're going to turn that layer into a three-dimensional layer. The default is a two-dimensional layer. You want to make a three-dimensional layer. The reason for that is you're going to fool your audience to think that they're looking at a NASA video of space when you're only using flat two-dimensional images and flat pictures. The stars you're going to generate out of After Effects. Pay very close attention. And some things seem simple, and they are, but you take one wrong turn and sometimes you don't know where you messed up. So just follow the directions, all right? So you're going to make your layers 3D by this. When you make a 3D layer, you're going to create a layer that is a camera. Anytime you create a camera layer, it has to be on the top layer, or else anything that is above it will not be seen by the camera.
Show them where that would be. The top layer.
The top layer would be right here. Right there, okay? And then layer 1, layer 2, and so on, all right? So, let's go ahead and tell you how you're gonna create your planets. The first thing you're going to do is, I think by now you would have gone and organized yourself, knowing the planets that you have to animate. You would have by now gone and downloaded the image maps of the planets. So if you're doing Earth, Jupiter, and Saturn, you will have those already, all right? Once you have those, then you're going to do Command I, or File Import, or open your browser and drag in to the project panel your image, and it should look like this. Composition will always be there, and then your images will come right here. The first thing you're going to do to get your planet map onto the stage is you're going to, right in here, right inside the effects control, you're going to drag your planet map and go right into the composition and let go, and then it will appear right here. Right away, you're going to go to the effects and you're going to apply CC Sphere. So you make sure you have that planet layer, because once you bring it into the composition, it will make a layer down here. Make sure you're always selected on the layer you want to affect, or you'll apply the layer in the future to a different one. We only have one now, but always keep in mind that you have to be on the layer that you want to affect, right? So once you're on it, you will either drag the effect CC Sphere from here right onto the image map. You can double click it and it will make it into a sphere. Right away, what I'd like for you to do is go ahead and rotate it. Right up top, you're going to have something that says Composition Settings. You're going to open up Composition Settings and you'll get a dialog box that allows you to choose how long your video is going to be. There are four. I'm going to tell you this. I'm not going to show you. I'm going to tell you this, so write this down. There are 4 numbers in the GPS of a film, video, timeline, and there are 4 numbers which are separated by commas. The very, let me put it this way, the very first letter, which will be on your left, it will be two digits. I'm sorry, that one actually is 1, and it'll be the hours. How many hours is this film? The second will be 2 digits. How many minutes is this? The third will be how many seconds is this? And the fourth will be how many frames. The frame rate you are working at is 30 frames per second. So every 30 seconds, a video camera will take 30 pictures. All right, so this is for you to understand what the frame rate is. Right? And so those 4 numbers are very important, and it's the GPS to where you're at in your animation. All right? I think 20 minutes will be what we need, right? Okay. And so once you change the comp settings to how long you want your animation, you click OK, and then your timeline will be 30 seconds, 1 minute, whatever you chose. All right. And so there's going to be a vertical line that's about a pixel thick. It's called the playhead. Whatever frame, a frame again is a picture. Whatever frame that the playhead is on, that's what you're looking at. So as the playhead moves with motion, it's just going with one picture over another. And that's what makes animation. You're going to animate by setting what's called keyframes. Right? Keyframes are going to be to the left of everything that you can animate. And the keyframe, it looks like a stopwatch. It's round, and diagonally on the top is a little spoke, but it looks like a stopwatch. What you're going to do is you tell the animation that at this point I want you to be here. At the beginning you want your planet spinning, or I'm not spinning, and rotating the whole way through. So you're gonna bring the playhead to the beginning. Once the playhead's in the beginning, you double click on your planet and then you come to the effects control. Next to effects control, you can open up rotation. When you open up rotation, you're going to see at that point 3 axes. Rotate the y-axis, and the y-axis will make your planet, because the y-axis goes up and down, just like the planet. X-axis goes across. Z-axis goes in and out. That's what makes your 3 dimensions. What we want you to animate is the y-axis. So what you're going to do is put your playhead at the beginning. You're going to click on the stopwatch next to the y-axis. Then you're going to move, and what that's going to do is going to set a keyframe. Right around here, right over the playhead, you're going to see a little tiny diamond that's going to pop up once you click that. That means you've set your first keyframe. You're told the computer, when you're here, I want you to be at this place, this time, this way. You can animate colors, you can animate anything that has that stopwatch, position, size, all right? Depth, any of these things you can. And so then you move the playhead to the end, and then you're going, depending on how fast you want your planet to spin, don't spin us out of the universe, all right? Planets spin slowly. You don't often see them spinning, but have fun with it. And once you have the playhead at the end, then you're gonna adjust the Y again, a tiny bit. Some of you might want to do a little bit more dramatic. And so once you've done that, in After Effects, you only have to set the first keyframe. Each time you move the playhead and readjust the effect, it'll set a second keyframe for you. So in this case, you're gonna have your playhead at the end, and once you adjust how much you want it to spin around, it'll set a keyframe for you. Once you've done that, click on the gold arrow. There's a little triangle on top of the playhead. Just scrub back and forth and you'll see your planet rotating. All right? So you've now done your first animation. The next thing you're gonna do, and this is for this week, so you're gonna get your planets created, you're gonna get your planets animated. Each planet should be done in a different composition. Make sure you have enough time in each animation to tell us about the planet. All right? The next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna make your stars.
You're at 19.
19? Okay, all right. We're at 19. Let's stop here for today. And what I'd like for you to do is everybody email me your notes. Everybody email me the group's name. You're gonna email me what planets each person is animating there. And once you've done that, you can go ahead and animate. We're not going to add, well, we'll add stars next week. All right, so let's do planets now, okay? And so, any questions? Sorry, can't help you.
That's not true.
So what I think we'll do here is we'll get the planets all set up. There are moons, there are planets, and good luck. And email me your notes. Your notes are a quiz for today. I'll see you next Monday. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.